The Times cover featuring Elon Musk behind the presidential desk, and more evidence that Elon Musk bought the presidency. Let's look into that. Welcome to Scrying Out Loud. My name is Trevor. First, thank you to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the community. Thank you to everyone who's contributed to this channel through likes, shares, comments, and donations. The donations in particular are very appreciated. I'm going to use them to hopefully get some better equipment set up here. So thank you very much. Um, so the Times put out their cover and it has Elon Musk behind the presidential desk. This would be something that I think would normally make the felon who currently occupies the White House go absolutely crazy. I think it might publicly, but I don't think he'll attack Musk, and we'll look at that. Uh, Secondly, U.S. aid uh, they're trying to shut it down. But it turns out that it was looking into why the Starlink satellites were shut down during one of the Russian attacks on Ukraine. So they shut down the Starlink satellites over Ukraine. Why was that? I've read a little bit on this before and had talked about why this was done, but let's just re-examine that to see if there's maybe something more to the story. So let's start with that. First, was Elon Musk's plan to get the felon who currently occupies the White House elected or into the White House, let's put it that way. It's his plan to get the felon into the White House so that investigations into him would stop. So there was investigations by the SEC into his buying of Twitter. I think we'll hear about those coming to an end soon. See a picture in my mind. This feels like it was in the summer months and must seem it's like a kind of a very anxious looking face of Elon Musk. So I think these investigations worried him not so much because of what was being investigated, but just because sometimes investigations broaden. And I think it's the broader things that he doesn't want discovered. So did Elon Musk buy essentially the presidency so that there wouldn't be any investigations? Yeah, I see the Hierophant, but it feels like it's in like the challenge spot. Like Musk's challenge was the courts, and by essentially purchasing the White House, he could shut down a lot of that before it got to the courts. But let's see. So we get the Queen of Wands. He's definitely worried about Harris becoming president. His challenge was the Democrats. This is my card for the Democratic Party. So his challenge was overcoming the Democrats. We have the Empress in the subconscious. This is interesting. This is sometimes my card for Russia, depending upon whether it's a political reading or it's something else, because the Empress represents the mother. Mother Russia has always popped in my mind when I see this. He's worried about things involving Russia becoming public. Now, of course, the public already knows that Starlink satellites were shut down during a Russian attack they were shut down over Ukraine during a Russian attack. But is there more to the story? And I think there is. I think there's quite a bit more, and we'll get into that. In the past, we have partnerships around money. This is what he's worried about being exposed. I think, in particular, some exchanges that he had with Vladimir Putin and possibly others to get dirt on Donald Trump. And I think that's why the Time magazine cover is probably not going to be as big of a story as it might normally. We do get a message coming forward slowly. The fear or the near term outcome is that if he didn't get the felon installed in the White House, that there's a possibility that he could suffer a financial loss or even worse. But uh, the wish got fulfilled. The felon's installed in the White House. And this was the beginning of the fiery new beginning of basically Musk taking over the government. Here's the hopes and fears. This is definitely it's a hope for Musk and a fear for the rest of us. The hope was that the mis and disinformation would work and that uh, the felon would be installed in the White House. The fear, of course, is that we're going to have to live with this mis and disinformation for us people that are, on the other side of things. But the devil energy very much was Musk's plan all along. You can look into my election interference videos if you wish. The outcome, we get the magician. This is definitely a yes card. And this is like dark energy coming forward to manifest taking over the miser, who I think the representation here is people trying to hold on to their money or Donald Trump or the felon in the White House. It took a lot of planning and a lot of hard work, but that was his intention and he succeeded. Why did he succeed? Well, a little bit was because of apathy, some fighting, and we get families and coming together. And then I think this card is more important. We get the lovers, we get this partnerships that he formed in order to accomplish this goal that he wants to remain secret. So it's like the cover up to the cover up. So let's just, again, we read already that he has dirt on Donald Trump. That's something we've already read on. So let's just ask the question, did the dirt come from foreign sources and particularly Russia? And is it tied somehow to Jeffrey Epstein, which I think it is? So the dirt that Elon Musk have on Trump, did it come from Russia? Is it tied to Epstein in any way? So seeing the Six of Cups, which is about intergenerational relationships. I think Musk got dirt about some of the more salacious things that the felon has done in his life. Whether that came from Putin is maybe not quite as clear. I think ultimately it came from Epstein, but did it go direct? So there was a meeting between Musk and Epstein that's been documented. Um, let's see. So we get shedding a light onto something, an isolation and feeling alone. The challenge was strength. Did he have the ability to pull this off? We get full illumination. So at some point in time, Musk became aware of information that was very damaging, and he saw it in its full light. That's three major arcanas in a row, by the way. So, and here's the fourth one. In the past, we get the moon card, which is things coming to the surface. So things came to the surface. He learned about them, and he saw an opportunity to shut down investigations into him. Wow. We have the star card, the Star of Hope. He was hoping this would work. We get families, reunions, and celebrations. It's also kind of got some depictions of some intergenerational relationships. I think a lot of it had to do with that part of the image, the dirt that he has. I don't really want to go into that for entertainment purposes only. And by doing so, he saw a victory for himself. He didn't actually care who's in the White House. It's all about him. Uh, but now there's a huge fight to get it done, and we saw that the hopes and fears. We got the tower. This is one of those two-sided cards. It was a hope for him and a fear for the rest of us. The hope for him was that there'd be such chaos in the country that his plan would actually work and that people would believe the devil energy that he was being put out there and choose not to vote or whatever um, you want to put there on how the felon got in there. And the fear, I think, for a lot of us heading into the election was that people were buying a lot of the stuff that just wasn't true. And the outcome was waiting for his ship to come in after the election. It was just a matter of time for things to come to fruition and for a ship to come in. It involved some overseas activity, which I think is Russia. And now he was at a crossroads trying to decide exactly how to execute this. He's not doing a very good job of it, at least not quietly. And we get leadership around money. He's using this idea that he knows how to handle money to infiltrate the government to put things to an end. Here's the card for Donald Trump underneath, or the felon in the White House. Messages coming forward about money, poverty. I think this is about them ruining the economy or not caring about foreign aid. We get giving and exchanging of resources, repayments of debts and loans. This is the blackmail for entertainment purposes only. And we get the Eight of Cups, walking away from things that no longer serve us. And then we get our card, the Hierophant for the courts, which is what this whole thing was about. That was a lot of major arcanas in that spread. So this is very explosive information. And what's going on is very explosive. So February, again, astrologically, is going to be a tough month to grasp what's real, what's not real, what's in the news is should be believed, what things are just utter nonsense. Like, for example, is the US really going to overtake Gaza? I don't see it happening, but it'll be talked about. But I don't think anything's being planned or talked about internally. I hope I'm correct on that. Okay, so this cover on Time magazine. Will Donald Trump, well, the felon who currently occupies the White House, will he stand up to Elon Musk or will he capitulate and let him have the spotlight? Again, I see the tower energy again. I think, which is also a no card in tarot. Um, I think he's just going to capitulate. Yeah, it breaks his heart, but he's just going to do it. He's going to go along with it because he has no choice. Whatever Musk got on him is would be completely devastating, even to the most loyal of MAGA supporters. I've hinted on what that I think that is. The challenge is, again, the felon that's in the White House knows that he can't go against Musk and not be wounded in battle, right? He can't experience that Five of Swords energy without. There's bombshells and surprises that would come out. In the past, we have security. He no longer has that security and stability. It's gone. So basically, he really literally is a puppet. He's being told what to do and everything that needs to happen. He essentially is having everything given to him. And he'll say whatever he wants, but what he says and what he does are two different things. And we need to be careful, and particularly in this month of February, that we watch what they do, not what they say. But coming, the Ace of Swords is in the near future. That's good. The truth might be coming out. Um, yeah. And when that does, we get the Ten of Swords. This is his downfall. He'll feel, not only stabbed in the back is the literal depiction here, but, this is his complete and utter downfall, his fall from grace. Even his MAGA supporters won't be behind some of the dirt, again, for entertainment purposes only. Once it comes out, things will happen very quickly. Uh, the hopes and fears is that the courts will start to handle it, or that other forms of government might step in and put an end to the crazy. That's certainly a hope. And the outcome is just uh, better leadership, more stability. Here's the card for the felon, just kind of confirmation. And ultimately, the felon will see justice. So right now, he's trying to keep this from coming out. I don't know that he can. He thinks that he's moved away from troubled waters, he prevented a message coming forward. But the truth is, he's at a crossroads. Something's going to come with time, and it might be information that was gathered overseas, and it's causing a lot of anxiety with the Nine of Swords. So, you know, things are very dicey. Um, Now, whether this comes out before or after the felon exits the stage of life is a different story. I'm not sure that the time frame is that short. I think it's this information doesn't come out until after that happens, as was in my last reading. I think that's not too far off, although timing in tarot is very hard. And yeah, thank you for all the likes, shares, subscribes, donations. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.